Open your book to page 180. This is lesson 6.1, and this lesson is on signed numbers. Signed number means that it can be positive or negative. And so let's review a little bit about the natural number. So the natural number is what comes naturally, and so that will be equal to like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. So natural number is also called a counting number. Okay. And next is a whole number. Whole number is the number you need to use when you're doing arithmetic. And so the only difference between that is that you need to have a 0. So for example, if you have like 1 minus 1, right, you need to have a 0, right, to do arithmetic. Right? So this one don't have a 0, so you cannot do that. You know, it's not enough to use it to do math. Like I say, if you have like 1 minus 1, then you don't have a 0 to have as your answer. Okay. So whole number have one additional 0, so you can do arithmetic. And the number line, so the number line is a line with a number. So example would be this, and again you can have 0, 1, 2, 3, and you go this way, you're going to get -1, -2, -3. Now over here, the more negative is smaller, right? The more negative means the less it is. And next one, again, we cover the digits. Again, these are just review. So digits are just like alphabet. So there are 10 digits, right? You got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So these are digits. So the numbers are made out of digits. Okay. And so the signed numbers are like the entire number line. So these are negative numbers, these are positive numbers. So positive and negative number are referred to as the signed numbers. Okay, so let's go over some examples. So you need to know how to read. So over here, so this is read -1. This is read -575. And this is 25 or positive 25. So make sure you know how to read the numbers. Okay, and example 2 is an example of how to the use of positive and negative integers. So like A, on a cold day in Minnesota, the temperature was -120 degrees. That means the temperature was 20 degrees below 0, means 20 less than 0. Okay. Over here, the altitude of Mount Everest is 29,028 feet. That means the peak of Mount Everest is 2,928 feet above sea level, because the sea level is at 0. Okay, example C, it says the lowest point in Death Valley, California is -282 feet. That means that the lowest point in Death Valley is 282 feet below sea level. And next is graphing the points on the number line. Okay, so these are some of the examples. So 5 over 2 is like 2.5. So 2.5 is between 2 and 3. Right? This is 1 and 3/4. So it's about. So here's 1, here's 2. So it's 3/4 of the way over. And here's 0.5, and on this side is a negative. So -1 over 4. So when you have negative, you go this way, right? So 1/4. So you go 1/4 this way. And this is -1.8. So notice closer to the -2, right? Okay. Okay, so let's go over example 3. Okay, so this is example 3 on page 182. It says on the number line below, find the letter that best locates each of the following numbers. So A is 1.5. So 1.5 is between 1 and 2, so it's halfway between 2. So the answer would be G. So point G would be 1.5. Okay. B, example B is -1/2. So -1/2, here's your 0, here's a -1. So -1/2 is right over here, so the answer would be C. So this is -1/2. Okay, let's go to part C, -2 and 1/3. So here's your -2 over here. So -2 and 1/3 would be point A. Okay, so it's more than 0.2. So again, remember, negative, the more negative you have, the more you have to go to the left. Okay, D, is 0.75, so 0.75 is going to be point F. Because point D is 1/4 of the way, so point D is 0.25. Point E is 0.5. Point F is 0.75, so this is point F. And let's go to example 4. Okay, let's go and use the book. It's easier this way. So example 4, the way to read this is -3 is greater than -7. Because even though this number is bigger, but it's more negative. So when it's more negative, it means it's less. So over here, if you look at the number line, here's your -3, and here's your -7. See that? So this is bigger, right? Because it's more to the right. So -3 is greater than -7. Okay, now look at example 5. Okay, example 5, you have a -5 is less than -2. So here's your -5, here's your -2. So -5 is less than -2 because more this way. Now the way to remember your inequality is, look at this one over here. So notice the smaller number have a smaller space over here. See that? And over here, the largest space is the largest number. And that's why when you have the equal sign, they have the same space on both sides, right? So if I have equal, you have the same space on this side. That's why they are same. Okay, so for equal sign, both have the same amount of space, so the two numbers are same. Okay, so let's go to example 6 on how to read. Okay, so again, when you read a number, so this is how you read. This reads 6 is greater than 4. Part B is -2 is greater than -7. Part C, -1 is less than -1/2. D, -5 is less than 3. E, 3 is greater than -5. Okay, so make sure you know how to read the inequalities.